get out of your comfort zone. How many times have you heard this quote on videos or any motivational speeches? And how many times actually you did go out and did something unachievable? I'm not saying I do it all the time or I'm some perfect man, bullshit, but this video centralizes the point of out of comfort zone. So a few weeks ago I had this idea of going out in the streets of India where I live and shooting public photos. And I'm not okay, I'm totally not okay doing this. Back in the Philippines I did some videos carefree, smoothly, like okay, they might be bad, that's just me, but there was no shy factor, there was no judgmental factor, which I, sorry to say, obviously get here in these streets. But I had this spark that I have to do it somehow because I want to prove myself, not to anyone else, but to prove myself that I can do something like that. So that's what today is. I went out with a goal to capture 100 emotions on the streets of India.
So the first place I went out to happens to be the foundation, the spark which I got to make this video as I was passing by the slums at the golden hour, thinking to myself, how sick would it be to get photos here with rich stories. The people were just way too humble. And one of my favorite shots of the whole video is here, this one. How many emotions do you feel? There's no human subject here, but how many stories can you hear? That's what's to love about photography. Classic Indian street shot with boiling sun on the top, which I hate. There's just life happening at every single step, which we often forget about. I wish I could have included some short videos here and there of the rush hour, but as I mentioned, I was pushing myself in the uncomfortable and I was one-man band. And this is the most I could do. What does this makes you think? What does this makes you feel? Survival. Now there cannot be an Indian street photography video without an old homeless man looking dead center at you and past your soul, right? One of my favorites too. During this venture, I was anticipating a lot of rejections and awkward moments, which to my surprise were very few. Got these unique captures thanks to these kids. I believe in putting in the effort. Destiny, luck, time, let them play their parts, but if you won't set out to get your own desires, the only thing you'd get in return is regret. And my life is fueled with the fear of regret. Failure is something not to be afraid of, but rather it pushes you forward. This morning, golden hour shots were just meant to capture. And yes, it's no national highway of India without herds and flocks on it, right? The morning tea. Yeah, I don't drink tea. How badass does this look to be surrounded by birds, although it's nowhere as cool as in real life. Feeding animals and birds on the streets is like a ritual here. Cleaning the foreyard, setting up the stores. I was kinda afraid to get more shots in the public market due to the amount of people gazing at me. So yeah, I flew off. You don't get what you don't ask for. With respect to everyone, I asked people around if I could take pictures of them, which is really important. I like this one. It's a literal definition of morning. And I barely caught this one on camera. A much nicer definition of Indian gurus with all their chains and attires. This whole challenge was to push myself to create. If you want something in life, you just gotta go get it. Nobody's gonna give it to you. In the end, it's just you, so be selfish, get out and start. Keep doing no matter how much you think you suck, and I promise you, you'll improve. I rode around 30 kilometers, 4 hours at an evening and 4 hours the next morning. In total, I took 788 photos. out of which I filtered out around 150 or so and edited even less than them, which concludes I accomplished what I set out to do.